Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wade's Movie World. Of course, you know me, I'm Wade. Okay, so according to different news sites out of Hollywood who report on stuff like this, I am currently looking at Collider.com. After almost 10 years of waiting, we finally got some solid news on this subject. And here's what it says. This is Collider.com, and this was published about 24 hours ago. It says Man of Steel 2 is reportedly in development with Henry Cavill returning as Superman.
About damn time.
Finally, we're getting a Man of Steel 2, a sequel to 2013's Man of Steel, which was directed by Zack Snyder and starred Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Lawrence Fishburne, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, and just a wonderful cast. So all I can say is yay. Am I excited about this? Oh, heck yeah. Because there have been so many conflicting reports over the years in the news about Henry Cavill's done with Superman. He's not done. He's coming back. Yes, he's back. No, he's not. Well, finally, we got something solid from Warner Brothers Discovery saying that Man of Steel 2 is in progress. Henry Cavill's returning as Superman. So that's all we know for now. All we know is they're currently looking for a writer to pen the script, so we don't know what the script's going to be, who's going to be in it. All we know is that it is in the very early stages of development, and Henry Cavill is finally returning in his own solo movie as Superman Clark Kent Kal-El. Okay, so yay. So I'm going to read you the rest of the article and let you know exactly what they're saying and what we can expect going forward. The future of the DC films has been rocky due to Warner Brothers' recent merger with Discovery and David Zaslav taking over the famous studio. However, in the last decade, there have been a couple of gems in DC's catalog that fans have held on tight to. One of those films is Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, starring Henry Cavill as Superman. It's the film that kicked off the DCEU as we know it, but since its release in 2013, Man of Steel never received a sequel. However, that now looks to be changing. Reported exclusively by The Hollywood Reporter, DC is developing a Man of Steel 2 with Cavill set to return. The studio is currently in the process of looking for a writer or writers. This news is a part of a larger DC piece detailing the franchise's future, but longtime DC producer Charles Robin is on the project, and apparently WB has a director wish list. THR highlights that Mission Impossible's Christopher McQuarrie is on that list, and that's all we know as of right now as far as directors. It makes sense that Christopher McQuarrie would be desired as he worked with Cavill on Mission Impossible Fallout. While McQuarrie is currently hard at work on the last two installments of the Mission Impossible films, Dead Reckoning Parts 1 and 2, Man of Steel 2 is still in the very early stages of development. McQuarrie has already shown he can handle an action-heavy blockbuster with Mission Impossible, which makes him the perfect choice to tackle a character like Superman. Okay, I'm going to stop with the article right there and say Christopher McQuarrie would be a good director for a Man of Steel 2. Personally, and this is just me talking, I would like to see Zack Snyder return to helm Man of Steel 2 because I don't feel like his story with Superman is quite over with yet. I know there's talk of him trying to get the next two Justice League films done, and I don't know how true that is. That's just what I've heard. But I would like to see him return as director. When Man of Steel was released, it was a film that was divisive among both fans and critics alike. Okay, I'm going to stop again. I was one of those people who was unsure about the film when I first saw it in movie theaters. I was like, man, this is a weird take on the Man of Steel. But I didn't hate it. You know, it was different. It was something I had to get used to. And the more I watched it after I got it on Blu-ray and DVD, the more I watched Man of Steel, the more and more I enjoyed it. So, you know, it was kind of like, you know, I wasn't sure in the beginning. And then once I, you know, really got a taste for it and really got to dive into it and think about it and really just talk to other people about it, the more I enjoyed the film, and it's on my list of favorites. It's not one of my favorites, but it's on there. Okay, continuing with the article again. It was very much a Snyder film that posed the question, what if Superman landed in our real world? Because of that, it was a much darker Superman story than the mainstream audiences were used to at the time. Now remember, before Man of Steel, all we had as far as Superman films goes was we had 4 Christopher Reeve films, and then we had Superman Returns, which Bryan Singer directed in 2006, that starred Brandon Routh. And that was a film that I really, really liked. A lot of people didn't like it. I freaking loved it. I saw it 6 times in the movie theaters. You know, people weren't used to this dark, dark Superman. And it took me a while to get into it, but the more I watched it, like I said, the more I enjoyed it. So thankfully, in the decades since the film has gotten a reappraisal. Cavill's wonderful performance also made that film one of the most complex character studies found in any modern superhero blockbuster. From its brilliant action to its epic musical score from Hans Zimmer to the great villains, Man of Steel is a top 10 comic book film of all time. I would agree with that. That's why this news is going to make a lot of fans happy. And yes, I am happy about Man of Steel 2. It feels like DC fans have been waiting for ages for some good news after the countless delays, cancellations, and conflicting bleak reports. Oh yes, and there have been way too many of those kinds of reports. This is not only good news that we've been waiting for, it might be the best DC news a fan could ask for. Oh, totally agree. Totally agree. There's one thing I don't want them to do. You know, since now we're getting Man of Steel 2, I don't want them to cancel Superman and Lois on the CW. Let us have a TV Superman, which is Tyler Hoechlin on Superman and Lois, and then let us have a movie Superman, Henry Cavill. And maybe at one point they could do what Grant Gustin's Flash and Ezra Miller's Flash did, and meet up on either the show, like what happened in Crisis on Infinite Earths, or have them meet up in a movie. Like maybe there's a scene in Man of Steel 2 where they could bring over Hoechlin's Superman and just kind of have a cool cameo scene, or have the 2 Supermen meet each other. That would be cool. I would love to see something like that. Okay, I'm continuing with the article, so here we go. While nothing is set in stone at this point, it's just nice knowing that the ball has started to roll on a follow-up to Man of Steel. It sounds like Cavill's Superman is going to be a major part of the DCEU's future under Zaslav. The next film in the DCEU is Black Adam, which opens tonight, and I plan on going to see it tonight. Black Adam is coming out this weekend. The star Dwayne Johnson has been teasing his potential fight with Superman ever since San Diego Comic-Con this past summer. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been a strong proponent at keeping Henry Cavill as the DCEU's Superman, as he was trying to get Black Adam made for the past 10 years. And I've heard reports, guys, now I don't know how true this is, I'm going to go watch Black Adam, the film, tonight, that there's a scene, like a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene that's going to happen, which Henry Cavill's Superman is going to be in. Now, I don't know that that's a fact, you know, because I haven't seen the film. I don't know. I've just heard that. So I'm definitely going to stick around during the credits tonight and see if that is true. But if it is, that's going to be a sweet treat for all of us Superman fans. Okay, so that is all the news that I have from this article from Collider.com that was released about 24 hours ago. To say I'm excited is an understatement. I'm all over the place with this news. I mean, I'm ecstatic. I mean, you know, I've got here at my house a movie poster from the 2013 Man of Steel hanging on my wall, and every time I look at it, I just think, man, I wish we could get another solo Man of Steel movie with Henry Cavill. And a lot of people were very divisive about the second film in the DCEU, which was Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, I get it. The theatrical cut wasn't very good. I mean, it was good, but it just wasn't, it didn't satisfy me enough. But the ultimate cut, once I saw the ultimate cut, oh man, I freaking love the movie now. But I can watch both cuts of that film and still love the film, which I do. Every time I watch it, I love it more and more. Same with Man of Steel. Every time I watch it, I love it more and more. So, anyway. So, yes, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Henry Cavill is back as Superman. If anyone from Warner Brothers Discovery is listening, thank you. I'm so excited about this. And please make Man of Steel 2 great. Give us a great story. Give us a villain we've never seen before. All I ask is that you please leave Superman and Lois alone. Let it continue to run on the CW, because it's a great show, and I freaking love Tyler Hoechlin as Superman just as much as I love Henry Cavill as Superman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. Good night. God bless. I love all of you. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.